guys just get in there and you do what you do.
Get out!
And it pays off with another victory over the top 5 team in the country.
And Nebraska will move on to the semifinals. Smashed off the bench and out for a grand slam.
Can you smell the _𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐜𝐞 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐜𝐞? Swing the Memphis for strike 3! And they have won 18 straight games.
We had some outstanding leadership that was returning. And for those players to know what it takes and then to be returning and to use that influence in leadership was first. Then I think we brought in some new pieces that were just catalysts in helping us spark to the next level. There was just a really great combination of returning players that have been there and experienced and knows what it takes, with some new players that expect to win and want to elevate the bar for the program, and that combination just was able to raise the bar for us.
Do not limit yourself individually. Don't limit yourself as a team. Go make plays. Let's believe we can do it.
That was undeniable from the start, how well this team liked each other, supported each other. When you watch them, it's a team that wants it more for the person next to them than they want it for themselves. That could not have been more fitting of a statement for this team.
You know, this was a team, I think from the get-go when they started knocking off top 25 teams, it became abundantly clear that they were not playing for anything but each other.
Tillman flips it up, missed it, and that will do it. And the Huskers have done it. Stand up, Husker fans. Your Nebraska women's basketball team has knocked off a top 10 team for the first time since 2014.
We were able to bounce back and beat Michigan convincingly, and I think that's when we realized, hey, like, we can compete with any team in this league right now.
Nebraska knocks off league-leading Indiana in Lincoln 72-55. The Huskers pull the upset. Can you smell the _𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐜𝐞 𝐏𝐿incoln?
When you have talent right in your backyard and then you have talent all the way from Australia, I would just say it's a mix of everything is just really meshing together, and they have such a good culture within that program.
Just really proud of our players. Players like Sam Hybe, who have been here and pouring into the program, her 4th year in the program, and to finally be playing in the NCAA tournament and knowing all that she had been through to be able to get us to that point. But just proud of that accomplishment, but also excited to be able to share that with our fan base and all the people who really got behind this team, and just to see that was rewarding and fun.
Atmospheres that this fan base is providing. There's a reason why they won 16 games, more games than they've ever won inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, is because of the fan base.
Nebraska fans are incredible. They really follow women's sports, and it's really special to have Nebraska fans like that support you on and off the court.
Sky is the limit for this team if they just keep playing for each other. They didn't let outside noise get in their way.
We went through a lot of adversity this year, more than we were expecting, and I think that could have broken us, but it actually brought us closer, and I think that's something that's really special. That I think now we know that we beat 3 of the teams in the Sweet 16 this year, and we watched that, and it kind of hurt to watch that, and I think that with that experience, and like you said, nearly everyone returning, it's going to be even more special, and everyone's going out there with some fire in their belly.
To go win a basketball game in the postseason, it's so important to have that experience. They got a taste of it. They were disappointed. I really believe it will fuel that team here in the offseason leading into next season.
off-season, fresh start. This team will be very hungry and very fun to cover.
This team is not satisfied, and they've got a fire in their belly, and they're working like that. And players are coming in and talking about, I want to be the best. We want to be the best team. We want to, you know that they have a fire lit in their belly to continue to raise the bar for the program. And for us, that's going to be putting ourselves in a position to advance in the NCAA tournament.
Overcoming the adversity, you guys stayed locked in, you stayed focused, we made huge plays down the stretch. Big time, big time. Family on three! 1, 2, 3! Family!
The University of Nebraska is a team, and that's one of the most special things about this place, and that this is a team. We're all together, and when one's winning, we all win.
Yeah, it's huge. I think that it's really important that women support women's sports, and to see how softball is performing right now, it's incredible to see. And I think that we have a very similar narrative with softball, and I think it's incredible, and we're going to go out and support them like they support us.
We made the commitment to have everybody on my staff and everybody on her staff. Just once a week, we would get on a Zoom, and we were doing some book studies together. We studied the culture code. Throughout that, it just created kind of a bond or a closeness between her entire coaching staff and our coaching staff. And I'm just really grateful for her mentorship and the way that she's willing to, pour into me. We both really become fans of each other's programs while we continue to help each other through the situations that we come up with.
We see the world, I think we see coaching, I think we see our faith similarly. I think that we try to treat people in similar kinds of ways. So it's really nice to have a colleague and a colleague at your same school that you can really bounce things off of, and somebody that you respect so immensely. You really have to go back to the last out of last season to start talking about this season, because that's when it started.
If you ask Coach Ravel and a lot of these players, they'll give immediate credit to those team captains and those seniors in the circle.
They were in my office right away going, Coach, we want to keep building on this. We want to get Nebraska back into postseason.
The culture was the key of just like the standards. We created something called above the line, below the line, and it was just a lot of different things, from social life to on the field to relationships with staff and players, and just making sure that we are staying above the line at all times. So when we were able to build that on standards, then that's what really brought us together to have this team that's so special.
This group, they've got an appetite for work. And whenever we've met with former teams that have won championships, that's the one collective thing that they always say is, we didn't want to let our teammates down. And this group is now feeling that because they see everybody working so hard, so they don't want to be the weak link and let their teammates down.
They want it more for the person next to them than they want it for themselves. You cannot just make that happen. I mean, you just don't find a coach that's been in a program for as long as Coach Ravel has. And once you get to know Coach Ravel, you understand why she's been here and been around for so long and has built the type of program that she has built.
You don't want to knock the program, but you're like, where did this come from?
It just feels like this team has been on the cusp of breaking through. And they finally did.
They were down 8-1 against Minnesota in Game 3, and it's I wasn't even concerned. They had 4 more innings to go.
Levitt's first one. And Glatter swings and lets the high fly ball. Left center and deep. It's gone and we're tied. Grand slam Glatter. We're tied at 8.
Where that ball was pitched, she's been working on that zone diligently. So it all married up. A first pitch swing and in a zone that she's been working on.
Lindner swings and misses for strike 3, and Nebraska matches the biggest comeback in school history, and they have won 18 straight games.
That win was so different, and it just showed the heart and the play that we have in this team. It just showed we can do anything. And that's the type of postseason wins you have to have. You have to have that grit to get through it. And so that just showed our potential that we can reach it.
So the first 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐜 𝐏𝐿 Grand Slam, just from an emotional standpoint, how crazy was it to you, not only that moment happened, but that your team was able to play another game after that and win that game?
Yeah.
I mean, how crazy is that?
Well, yes, that's the timing was really too much to be a coincidence, honestly.
I could talk about the game, but I'm not going to talk about the game because I think this is really important. Today, 𝐏𝐿 her father, passed away in the fall. Today is his birthday. Her whole team knows that. They've encircled her. She said, "I'm playing for my dad." And when that ball left the bat and hit that building, we all knew what it was all about.
𝐏𝐿 swings and blasts this one. Deep right field. Carter going back. It's gone. A grand slam for 𝐏𝐿. And the Huskers lead.
The fact that we were on television on 𝐏𝐿's dad's birthday, the fact that it happened in the third inning of the first game, so we still had a lot of night left, the fact that I had the opportunity to do an in-game interview at the top of the fourth, and that happened in the bottom of the third, so it was really fresh, and I could capture what just was building up inside of me. So when that ball hit that bat, and then it hit the building, and then I looked up and I saw her point up, and then I looked over to the dugout, I'm like, there's no way there's a dry eye in that dugout, because we all know what just happened. And, that kind of stuff, you have no words.
It's where you have a moment that goes viral on ESPN and everyone picks it up. Those are bigger than just viral moments. They are moments that show you the heart of a team, and it plays into the culture that these coaches are talking about.
Women's basketball and softball are great stories, and they're fun to watch, and this fan base appreciates that. They're very knowledgeable and understanding of what these teams are doing is special, and I'm going to support that.
We're at a good place right now. The vibe, the feel, I could feel like we're on the climb. Now, remember, I've been around here a long time, and I started when Coach Osborne, there was a lot of noise, like you can't win the big one. But you know what? He just stayed diligent. He just stayed the course, and he stayed with his same staff, and over time, the championships came. And I got to be a young coach watching as that happened, and as they lifted, everybody else lifted. And it was really a magical time, and I feel like we can get back to that magical time. It feels like we're on that road.